Good morning. Welcome to the 2009 Long Island Radio and TV Day here at CW Post. I'm here with Chris Kozak, the voice that sells. Chris, if you can just give us your impression of today and what your feelings are about today.
You know, there's nothing like radio. Radio speaks to you. Radio gives to you. It's always there for you. And it's a medium that's free, and it's a medium that provides an outlet for creativity. And here on Long Island, with an island with 6 million people, you've got the best of the best and the cream of the crop showing up today just to be together, just to celebrate radio. And that's what it is, in a nutshell. There's amazing antiques in there that are, you know, priceless, which you'll see. So we're glad to have you here. I'm glad to be here. And if you have any other questions, come on back and just ask me.
Well, we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us, and we hope that you have a nice day. And again, we hope that this meets your expectations. And thank you for allowing us to do this.
Thank you.
How's that? Something like that?
I'm not seeing the focus change.
Oh.
Good morning. I'm here with Jackie Clement. I believe it's Jackie. I hope it is, from Fair Media Council. And Jackie, just want to find out your feelings today about Long Island Radio and TV Day.
This is a great day. It's a lot of fun. We're going to see a lot of good people here, a lot of old friends, and it's a lovely Saturday to come out and talk about radio and how important it is.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about Fair Media Council and what you do?
Okay, what do? I'm executive director of the Fair Media Council. We basically do two things. We advocate for quality local news because news is important, and we also educate people about the news, all facets of it, how to recognize it, how to distinguish quality news, how to use it to create critical thinking skills in children, and how to tell the difference between, you know, what traditional news is doing versus what social media is all about and the new media, and, you know, how to use all of it to basically make you smarter.
Well, Jackie, thank you very much for allowing us this privilege of interviewing you, and we hope you have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Once again, good morning, and I'm talking with Jose Rivera from George's TV and Appliance, and I guess that's associated with DirecTV. Jose, what are your feelings today about Long Island Radio and TV Day?
Oh, it's great, man. It's a lot of nice displays, a lot of nice antiques, a lot of nice equipment. I mean, it's a great setup, and I think they did a really nice job with it today.
Now, can you tell me, what is your involvement with today? Do you have a specific involvement with today?
Yeah, we're here to promote DirecTV. You know, a lot of people in the old antenna days, now with the new digital signal, you know, it's not as much analog anymore, and antennas are kind of getting a little obsolete. So we're trying to give people another option besides cable and Verizon, which is DirecTV, which has the best HD going, so we're hoping people come to our way.
Now, if I talk to you later, could I get like a discount on DirecTV?
Sure, we can work something out for you.
I want to ask you another question, because Howie, if you widen out, you'll see Jose is a Mets fan, and, you know, I am a Yankee fan, and although we both have new stadiums this year, I wondered if you've had a chance to be to any of them yet.
Not yet, unfortunately, but I'm hoping the next homestand to get over to Citi Field at least.
Okay, because
I definitely want to see the new Yankee Stadium as well.
I've been to the first two games at Yankee Stadium, and what I do hear is that Yankee Stadium is great, it's beautiful, it's grandiose, it's a castle, it's wonderful, but I do hear in terms of intimacy and in terms of just being a little bit closer to the action, that Citi Field is the place to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, with Citi Field, the nice thing about it is the Citi Field upper deck is equivalent to the Citi Field medium side, you know, medium level deck. So, you know, even if you're in the upper deck, you're pretty much close to the action. So it's really nice any way you go. So I can't wait to get over there.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, and have a great day.
Oh, anytime. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
No
Thanks,
problem.
man. John Zoni from ESPN. And John, I want to get your impressions about what you see here so far for Long Island Radio and TV Day.
Oh, I think it's terrific. It's, you know, you got a good mixture of some of the history of radio and broadcasting on Long Island, along with stuff, more recently, a lot of stuff that's going on now. And as a native Long Islander and also an alum of Post here, I think it's fantastic.
Now, question, what is your involvement with ESPN, and where do you work?
I am up at the main headquarters in Bristol. I am a researcher, providing primarily statistical data and information to be used on game broadcasts. I worked on the NHL for a lot of years, done college basketball, Little League World Series, Frozen Four college hockey, variety of stuff. And,
Well, both of us work with ABC Television, so we're part of the same company, same parent company, and we welcome you here today. And I just want to thank you very much for your time.
oh, thank you very much.
Okay, I'm here with Joe Fairclough from Radio Club of Junior High School 22. And I just want to get, Joe, your thoughts about today's Long Island Radio and TV Day.
It's a fantastic event. It's an event that's extremely well attended. Everybody's so interested and excited about radio, current radio, old-time radio. It's just an exciting event to be part of.
Now, a question. I see that you have a WB2J, KJ. Is that your ham handle? Is that what that is?
That's my amateur radio call letters that I got when I was 12 years old back at Russell Sage Junior High School in Forest Hills, Queens. I've been a ham radio operator ever since the 7th grade, and we now work nationwide to bring amateur radio to schools around the country as a theme for teaching using the EduCom program.
That's really a wonderful thing. Is there anything? Now, I see you have a wonderful display here. What can you tell me all about this display?
Well, we work, as I said, to get children excited and interested and back into school and learning via the theme of amateur radio. So this display here is to let people know about our program. We're New York City's largest amateur radio club. We're also the nation's only full-time nonprofit that works to get ham radio into schools as a theme for teaching.
Well, Joe, I want to thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the day.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm here with Don Tandler, the record handler, and I want to get, Don, your impressions of what you see here today at Long Island Radio and TV Day.
Well, the impression is this is a really nice day for everybody. I'm meeting a whole bunch of people who I have never met, names and voices and faces that I have been hearing or seeing for so many years that I'm meeting for the first time today. So for me, as a fan of radio, that's the best thing about the day. And I'm meeting some listeners as well who have never met me, and that's also very, very nice to me, because that's what radio, I think, is all about, broadcasting is all about, is connecting with listeners and with people who are on the other side of the microphone. And to me, that's the most important part of this business. That's the most fun part of the business.
So we're going to continue with Don. Once again, your thoughts here. We did get cut off by some public address announcements that needed to be made. Forgive me for that.
You're forgiven, Needles. It's just a really nice thing to be able to meet so many of the voices and names of my youth, like Mitch Leby, and to introduce myself to them and say, I've been listening to you my whole life, and wow, here you are. And to see the past of radio come alive again, it brings back a whole era when radio and the listeners were closer together, and people cared about who was on the air, and the people who worked in radio cared about who was on the other side, and there was radio was local. And to me, that has been totally lost now. As someone in radio, that bothers me a lot. And so things like this, gatherings like this, enable people to come together in a way that unfortunately you don't get to do a lot in this business. So I'm very happy to be here.
Well, Don, we want to thank you very much for spending a few moments with us, and we hope you enjoy the day.
You're welcome, Needles. Thank you, guys.
Good morning again. I'm here with Keith Allen of WBZO. And Keith, we just want to get your impressions of what you see so far at Long Island Radio and TV Day.
It's a great get-together. Many people, important people in the industry are here, especially from Long Island and New York, and a chance to hobnob with the people and get to know them and talk about radio and Long Island radio. It's great.
Now, tell me a little bit about WBZO.
Well, it's B103, and we've been in existence for our 16th year. And we started off as a mom and pop oldies station, and I'm spending my 15th year there. And we play music of the 60s, 70s, and now even 80s, which the direction of the format is going into.
Well, we certainly appreciate you spending the time with us. Wondering about what you think, what you see about all of these exhibits here.
Well, it's great. Everybody has an exhibit, and there's very interesting stuff about the Long Island radio and Long Island TV. And I haven't even seen some of this stuff yet, so I'll be going around looking myself. It's very fascinating.
Well, Keith, once again, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
You're welcome. Anytime. Thanks.
55, TV 10 and 55.
Okay, we're here with Mr. Weiss, David Weiss, and Mike Erickson. Mike is from TV 55, and Mike is from CBS FM, I believe. Is that
right,
okay?
right.
I hope I didn't mess that up. What's your impressions, guys, of what you see here so far?
I'm very impressed. As a matter of fact, I have a table myself. This is my third year here. I think it's very good that people recognize the kind of medium that radio is and how important radio is to the community. And it's nice to see a big turnout and a bunch of celebrities, and I call them celebrities because I grew up listening to them, like Mr. Weiss here. Not that he's old, but I used to listen to him on the Walk Breakfast Club many years ago, and I watch him every night on TV 55 telling me how bad the weather's going to be.
And what's your feelings?
Well, this is fantastic. I've been in radio since 1979, so this is my 30th year as part of radio, and now I'm doing some TV work as well. But I grew up as one of those guys who loved not just radio, but AM radio. Taking the radio and hanging it by my ceiling to pick up out-of-town stations, listening specifically to the community-oriented stuff that you used to hear on AM radio, and hopefully will hear once again. But also out-of-town sports. There's something about the connection with radio and a community and listeners that is unique to any other medium. So I'll always still believe in radio. Despite the economic problems we're having today, radio is still something special.
I was going to say, it seems like, now I am not from Long Island, but I grew up in the Bronx and now I live in New Jersey. But it seems like there seems to be a very, very close-knit community of professional people in Long Island. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I think it's important that, Long Island is made up of about 30-something radio stations, and everyone's worked everywhere, and everyone has networked with everyone on Long Island because, there's not a lot of money out here to run these radio stations, so at times, people have shared resources and friends have been made over the years. This one's helped this station when it needed transmitter work, or, this one worked part-time at this station and went up the island to work. So, everyone gets around. It's a very small, close-knit community, and you never know who you never know who you're going to run into.
Just talking to some people about the fact that in this day and age, obviously you wake up, you go on the computer, you boot up, you're on the internet, so radio may not have the connection that it used to have, especially when it comes to a younger demographic. However, there are still a core of people who live, eat, breathe, and bleed radio, and I'm one of them, and there are many people here in this room, and it's still something special, especially when we recognize the history of radio and the changes that have occurred over the last 25, 30 years, and I think that's what this is all about today, and hopefully we can get more people involved too, because I think radio will survive in some shape or form. It's always going to survive.
Well, folks, these are the people who certainly entertain you, and I think it's because of people like this that you people are entertained and that you actually believe in what you hear, and it's very, very important that you listen to what these gentlemen have to say because they're actually really sending a very, very important message. And guys, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
I just have one last thing. Do I look as good as the hunks on One Life to Live? Yes. Okay, thank you.
We actually call it no life at all because we don't have any message. I'm 63, so.
Look at this. And Mike, by the way, looks a lot better on radio.
Yes, I look a lot better. Face made for radio. That's what I said.
Guy, good morning once again. Here with Elliot Gossman of News 12 Traffic. Elliot, what's your feelings about what you see so far at Long Island Radio and TV Day?
It's a great show. I think the people that are involved, I know Bill Moser is very passionate about all the radio things going on here today. He's done a really nice job. All the exhibits are very interesting. Things are a lot of stuff you would not normally see anywhere else. So I thought it was a great show.
Now, question, News 12 Traffic, is that specifically limited to Long Island traffic, or is it?
No, we have 5 different regions, and we have a staff of about 40 reporters. We do traffic for all 5 regions, Hudson Valley, Westchester, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Long Island, of course. And so the stations all look the same, just a different set of maps.
Well, I got to say, it's very impressive. What's your feelings about some of these exhibits that you see here today?
Well, I tell you, if I was in the market for old radio parts, I have nowhere to come. There's an awful lot of old radios and televisions here, and the interesting thing is the passion that these people have for the nostalgic radios, televisions, the electronics of the days gone by, and some of the one guy had a lot of programs here from 50s and 60s radio and TV programs, which it's great that these people would have a place like this to come out and be able to share their love for old radio and television with other people that didn't even know this stuff existed back then, especially younger people.
Well, Elliot, I want to thank you for spending some time with us, and we hope you really, really enjoy the day.
Great, and have a great day.
Thank you. Once again, good morning. I'm here with Mitch Levy. And Mitch, want to get your impressions of what you see here so far at Long Island Radio and TV Day.
Well, firstly, I'm amazed by the number of people that have come out today. It shows you how important radio can be to people. The turnout is great, but the exhibits are wonderful. You see all these old-time radios. as an old-time microphone. 77DX is not all that old. I have one. In fact, I even used it last night for a real job. But it's just to see so many friends and so many people. It's wonderful to be here and to get a subject such as radio to bring so many people together. You know, it's a very small industry, really. I'm amazed at how many people I've met here that I haven't seen before or that I've not seen in many years. And to talk and renew old acquaintances, it's just great. I worked on Long Island radio for a number of years at WGBB, at WBIC, at WALK. I mean, I've been there, done that, WGSM, so I have a background in Long Island radio, and it's great to see everybody again.
Well, I got to say that I am also truly a fan of yours, and I want to thank you because you entertained me tremendously throughout the years, and I'm a big fan of yours, and I want to thank you for just providing some nice moments in my life.
Alan, thank you. I mean, you know, there's nothing more thrilling to me, even to this present day, than being in front of a microphone and a camera. That's what I love doing, and I'm happy that you enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. We hope you enjoy the day.
Thank you.
I'm here with Michelle Imperato from WLNY TV, and I want to get your impressions of what you see here today at Long Island Radio and TV Day.
Actually, I think it's very interesting. I didn't think it was going to be like this at all. I actually really like all the antiques. It's very interesting to see how things looked back in the day and how they worked.
Now, you're usually on this side of the microphone. We want to know, what did you feel? You feel any pressure with any of this?
There is a lot of pressure on this side of the microphone. I actually feel bad for the people I interview now. I never really understood why everyone got so nervous, but yeah, this is a little nerve-wracking.
You know, I think Michelle has the kind of face that they might like on One Life to Live. How do you feel about that?
I am not an actress. I have zero acting talent, but I am a journalist. I do like to do that.
Well, in terms of like this great community of people that you see here, that basically they're all from Long Island. Obviously, you're from Long Island. I am. And how do you feel about this? It seems that there's a tremendous amount of people that are out here that are in this genre, if you will.
Absolutely, there are a lot of people involved in this industry, and I don't know many of them. I know I get to see people out in the field when I go on stories and I meet people, but I really like this because it's giving me a chance to meet people that I wouldn't normally have a chance to get in touch with.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for spending some time with us. We hope you enjoy it.
All right, thank you. I did.
Good morning, sir. I wonder if you could tell me your name.
My name is Ken Kuhn.
Did you say Ken?
Right.
Ken, what's your impressions of what you're seeing here so far at Long Island Radio and TV Day?
I'm mystified by it all.
Now, another question. I see you wearing a U.S. Marine Corps hat. Does that mean you were a Marine?
Yes.
And you're one of the reasons this country is as free as it is because you fought for us in World War II?
Yeah, World War II.
Well, sir, as somebody who's just a little bit younger than you, I'd like to thank you for giving me the freedom that I have here today.
You're quite welcome.
We hope that you enjoy the day, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, speaking with Kevin Plath, I guess, who's the director and actor, want to get your impressions of what you're seeing here on Long Island Radio and TV Day today.
I think it's amazing, actually. It has a great diversity of classic radio, everything from ham radio to make-it-yourself radio, the old crystal kits that we used to play with as kids, everything from old-time radio shows, and some creative stuff, too. We have a gentleman that does dioramas using old defunct radios and turning them into a display case, but the dioramas themselves are about radio. And we also have gentlemen from CBS, ABC, and the people from Red Cross, you can't forget them, and a lot of information with the Historical Radio Society as well.
Now, I see that you're a director. Can you tell me something about what you've directed?
I do a lot of independent film and also off-Broadway theater.
Something that, there are a lot of that involvement here on Long Island?
Not as much as I'd like to see. There are some good small theaters. You've got the Playwrights out in Bayshore. You have the Stage in Merrick. You also have the Tillis Center, but that brings a lot of people from outside in. You also have Spotlight Theater in Long Beach. But there should be a more drive for radio content shows, more performing arts pieces on radio. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. And also to kind of bring back some of the classic style of radio drama where you can use your imagination a lot more than watching something visual that's a little bit more creative with one's mind, because you create what you think you see, but it may not be that way, and it makes it more interesting for the listener.
Now I see. I noticed your Uncle Bob was here. He seemed to have run away. What is Bob's involvement in this? I'd love to get him, but what is his involvement?
He's one of the members with the historical group with Bill and several other members. He's also a big supporter of Long Island history, Long Island radio, music, as well as cultural events for the island, everything from model railroading to marching band, which he's had for now 43 years. And a big supporter of the police department and the volunteer fire departments here on Long Island.
Well, Kevin, I want to thank you so much for spending time with us and hope that you really, really enjoyed the day. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
You can step right in. Whenever you're ready. Good? Okay, I'm here with Bill Tynan from WCBS News Radio. And Bill, I want to get your feelings of what you see so far at Long Island Radio and TV Day.
It's great. I mean, it's my first time here, and I'm impressed. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in an awful long time, and got some great booths and displays. I'm glad I came.
I was going to say about these displays, what's your feeling about these, like the old-time radio, the tube radios and things, and the technology that we're achieving now?
Well, I mean, I remember using some of those, so I'm feeling a little old right about now. I remember when my mom used to listen to our little radio in the kitchen to see if the schools were closed or not, so I'm looking over there and it's bringing back a lot of memories, but obviously, it's a great novelty to have those old ones around, and I know a lot of people are collectors. I wish they were here. Their eyes would be popping out of their head.
It seems like there's a very, very close-knit community of people who are in this industry in Long Island, and they seem very, very close to each other. How do you feel about that? It seems like it's different here than it is in other parts of the country. Why is that?
Well, I think people anywhere who are in radio or television, they don't always do it for the money. They do it for the passion. And I think that's what's great about this event is you have people here from across the age spectrum, and they're all here for one reason. They're just so passionate about what they do. And I mean, I know I get up every day, and but for the rare day where you're kind of overwhelmed with things, I think to myself, they pay me to do this. I mean, I would be doing this just to have fun tinkering in my home studio, and I actually make a living doing this. How cool is that?
I also understand that you have a connection to the U.S. window factory, and I wonder if you can give me a little clue as to, can you help me here?
I used to be the voice of the U.S. window factory, which somebody said, oh, well, you're famous. And I said, I'm not sure if it's famous or infamous, but nonetheless, I was the voice for years that would either make you cringe and turn off the radio, or in some cases, actually go and buy windows.
Can you give me a little of that voice? Can you just give me a little sample?
A little sample. Homeowners, are you tired of those drafty old windows?
Well, let me tell you something.
You know what it's a combination of? It's like Snidely Whiplash meets a pit bull.
Well,
I don't know if you remember the character Snidely Whiplash. Yeah, my dear. Just this kind of strident.
Well, I'm one of the ones that was very impressed with that and probably bought from the U.S. window factory because of that. So thank you for your involvement in that.
Wow, you were the guy. You were the guy who bought the windows. They told me somebody did.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us today. We hope you have an enjoyable day.
It has been an enjoyable day. Thank you.
How's that, Chris? How's that, my brother? I'm wanted in 3 states, by the way. 4.
Used to have on talk show hours once.
All right, I'm looking at you, not at the camera, right?
You can look at the camera.
Hey! Oh, right, ready when you are.
Okay.
5.
Once again, good morning. I'm here with Bernie Bernard, Voice of America, and also the MC of this whole thing here today. Bernie, I want to get your impressions of what you see so far at Long Island Radio and TV Day.
Well, it's great. I mean, I've done this for the past couple of years. I'm on the board of directors of the Long Island Wireless Historical Society. I'm a professor here at CW Post. Newly retired from the Voice of America. I also worked at WNEW-FM and WBAB and WALK. So I have some great memories and just a home here on Long Island. When I was working in D.C., I always wanted to come home. I'm home, and it's great to be home and work at events like this. We have a lot of celebrities here who are coming out, and just having fun, lots of exhibits, and I think there's still an interest in radio in the age of the iPod and the computer and all that, and digital downloads. I think people are still interested in where it all started, where it all came from. Before we had iPods and all this stuff, we had the radio.
I was going to say, just as you said, prior to the age of the iPods and things, it seems like everybody who is here wants to spread the word of what radio not only was about, but what it is about. And obviously, it seems like you think that's very important.
Yeah, it is. And especially Long Island has an incredible history of radio. We have a lot of people who launched their careers here on Long Island, who went to other things, who went to TV. We have a lot of people who stayed and are still working and doing well and having fun and making a living in Long Island radio. And people still listen. People who live on the island listen to Long Island stations, so it's good. And I think this is a chance for everybody to mingle. We have people who've worked in radio and TV, people who are enthusiasts, people who are just interested in it, just to come out and see what's happening. We have a couple of performances too. The theremin, which was the first electronic musical instrument. We have somebody who's going to be playing music. We have Miss Gloria Parker, who was featured in the Woody Allen film Broadway Danny Rose. She's playing the musical Glasses. She was also a pioneer. She had one of the first all-female bands in the big band era. So we're honored to have people like that here. It's a little bit of everything, a little nostalgia, a little what's going on in the future. So I think there's something here for everyone.
It seems like because this is so big, huge, grandiose, seems like there's a lot of planning that you have to do. And how long does it take you to get this plan?
The better part of a year. I think next week we'll start planning for next year's. We're going to look at what happened today and kind of build on that. How can we spread the word? How can we get more people? How can we get more exhibitors and more people in the radio and television field to come and join us? So this, I believe, is the third year we've done it. So it's snowballing, still a work in progress, but doing a little bit better every year.
Well, it's my first time here. I'd like to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come here, and also thank you for allowing me to speak with you and join you today. I hope that you'll allow me to come back next year.
Allow you? Sure. Definitely. Come back. You're invited now. Official invitation.
Thank you so much for the time.
Okay, bye-bye.
How's that?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Here with Bill Moser, who is the producer of Long Island Radio and TV Day. Billy, what do you think so far?
Oh, this is a fabulous turnout. I'm absolutely so pleased at the public that has turned out to visit and rub elbows with the radio and TV stars of the past and present. It's really exciting.
Billy, in terms of putting this together, this is amazing. It seems from talking to Bernie that you start planning next year's tomorrow.
We started to build a list of people who unfortunately said they can't make it this year, but they want to be here next year. So, yeah, we're starting tomorrow on next year's event.
You know, there are so many people here that are into various things. It seems like radio, not only of the present, but of the past as well, is a very important message to spend, especially economically with stations closing and things. What are your feelings about things like that?
Well, it's really unfortunate that radio has evolved into more of a mechanized, computerized formats. But by having an event like this, it gives the opportunity for working professionals to talk to other working professionals, and it's a networking opportunity for a lot of us folks.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, just looking around, you deserve a tremendous amount of credit. I'm excited that you allowed me to come today. Hope that you'll allow me to come again. But I also wanted to say, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because there's a lot of people that I'm meeting as well, and thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming here. Thanks, Alan.
We'll see you next week on a show where we have no life at all.
And 3, 2, 1.
Talking with a radio legend, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Zeller from the good old days of 77 WABC. Jerry, what's your impression of what you see here so far today at Long Island Radio and TV Day?
Excellent, superb, excellent. Brings back old memories. The good old days of AM radio, 77 WABC. News first, fast, 5 minutes sooner with Howard E. Zeidman and Needles right here.
I want to ask you another question.
Yes.
We know that you had a specific involvement, and you're one of a very select few people who had a very specific involvement with the Beatles. Can you tell me what that was about?
Oh, yeah. Going back to 1964. We carried them live. I did all the remotes for the Beatles, and I ran out of tape. So at a press conference, I said, hold on, guys, I got to change the tape. And wow, that made history. But, you know, the Beatles, they needed a shave and a haircut, and I told them so. But we had a lot of fun.
Now, I know you worked with a tremendous, oh God, all of the radio greats. Can you give me just a sampling? Like, for instance, you worked with Harry Harrison. How did it sound to work with Harry Harrison? What did he sound like?
Morning, Harry Harrison here. Put the coffee on, Mom. Snow tonight, high in the 80s. Hey, Rick Scott, they're making a fool out of me. Oh, and, you know, we had Ingram, Herb Oscar.
I know that you also made the segue from television to TV and had the honor and pleasure of working with Howard Cosell, who actually learned all of his speaking techniques from you. Can you give me a little sample of that? There's an audience that would love to see it.
I raised Howard as a baby. He used my voice. He made the money. Am I allowed to say shit? I am? I guess. Oh, but you can bleep that. Anyway.
Give me a little Howard Cosell.
What's going on? Who's going to do the show? Oh, incredible. I have a plane to catch, etc., etc. And, you know, we go back, 50 years. But, of course, Howard's not around anymore. But I worked with him every day for 20 years.
Jerry, it's an honor and pleasure to see you today. And, you know, I love you as my own brother.
I raised him as a baby.
And we'll come back and we'll speak again. I love you.
Love you, too. Good luck.
You have a question?
Speaking with Dan Cox, who's the station manager of WCWP. And Dan, I want to get your impressions of how you feel about what's going on here today.
Well, this is our third time. WCWP is a co-sponsor with the Long Island Wireless Historical Society. And this is our third year, and I think this is the best of the three so far. I mean, it's just got great people here today. You've got people from the radio industry, the television industry. You've got going back in history to the early part of the century when Long Island was essentially the experimental ground where radio was developed into what it is today. So this is a great crowd. It's a great day. We got a beautiful day for it, and it's a beautiful facility. WCWP is very proud to be part of this with the Long Island Wireless Historical Society.
Now, it seems, based on speaking to some other folks that I've spoken to, that you guys begin planning this the day after this event ends. You plan the next one.
Yeah, actually on Thursday when the chair of the committee, Bill Moser, and I got together, we already planned next year's date already. We already have next year's date. And the university has been very good to us, giving us this space at no charge to use it for the day, as long as we keep it clean and don't wreck the place. They've been great to us. The Long Island University has been great to us. And yeah, we start planning pretty much before we've even gotten this one off the ground. But yeah, we'll be in it for another year, and hopefully next April we'll be doing this all over again.
It has to do you proud, just looking around, seeing all of these people that you've gathered together that seem like a network of people that have something in common, whether it's spreading the word about the radio of today or the radio of yesteryear. I mean, who came up with this concept?
Well, this comes from the Wireless Society, the Long Island Wireless Historical Society. Their group, when Bill Moser joined their group, they were thinking about having a day that celebrated Long Island radio and television history, and basically it came out of that. And you talk about the people who are here. They say that everybody's got 6 degrees of separation, but in the radio and television biz, it's usually 1 or 2. Usually I know you because you know him and he knows him. It's a very small world. It's a terrific world. It's highly competitive, but when we get together like this, it's a lot of fun because we get to talk stories, we get to talk about the history and about what we think radio and television are doing, and it's a blast. It's a great social event also.
Well, Dan, thank you for allowing me to be involved, and I look forward to some more involvement, hopefully next year. But I'm serious, you deserve a tremendous amount of credit for doing this for as long as you've done it and being as successful as you are.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that.
Thanks a lot. So I'm here with Roger Luce from WBAB. I understand you're the WBAB morning man.
Correct.
What's your feelings, Roger, about what you hear here, what you see here today?
Well, I see a lot of people who love radio, all forms of radio, and I'm running into guys I haven't seen in 25 years, 20 years, or since college, and And then guys like Ted David, who I've always idolized and I saw ahead of me come out of post. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun seeing everybody and getting reacquainted.
So you feel like if you had to say this is a success, is that what you would say?
Oh, absolutely. It's only the beginning of the day. And listen to the buzz in this place. There's a lot of energy in this room. It's nice. It's nice to talk to everybody. It's great.
Now, I understand you have a rock and roll program, something coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Coming up, what I do every day.
What you do every day. Excuse me, I'm from Jersey. You have to talk slow.
Well, the one I do every day is on WBAB, Monday to Friday, 5:30 to 10. And it's me and my partner, JP, the Roger and JP Show. And we're in our 10th year in Morning Drive. And it's going very well. And we do about 50% talking and 50% music.
Well, I hope that there's a lot of people who come up to you and tell you how much they appreciate what you do. Unfortunately, I don't hear your station, but I would like to hear it because I like your voice.
Well, that's very nice of you, but now this interview's over. If you don't listen, I can't talk to you anymore.
Thank you very much for spending some time with us.
You're quite welcome.
I'm here with a good friend, Corey Taylor from Wheatley Heights. And Corey, what's your feelings about what you see here today at Long Island Radio and TV Day?
I am having a great time. I used to work at WGBB, did a talk show there for a bunch of years, and I just found a whole bunch of people that I haven't seen in a lot of years. It's been a really great thing to come to.
Now, tell me a little bit about the Food on Foot tour.
Doing tours in the city now, subway and walking tours to neighborhoods that most people don't really know much about, and get to meet a lot of people from around the country, around the world, and even New Yorkers. A lot of fun.
And in terms of all of the exhibits and things that are here today, I mean, it's astounding even to a little guy like me. I remember tube radios and Howdy Doody and those kind of things. Is it a good feeling to be a little bit nostalgic?
It's wonderful. Actually, I saw over there's an exhibit with transistor radios from the 60s put out by Sunoco and Sinclair, which are pretty cool. Imagine those.
I got to tell you, this is a little bit more amazing to me than the food court at the new Yankee Stadium.
You got to go to Citi Field. The food's better.
I'm hearing that because I lost my wallet at Yankee Stadium the other day. I paid like $40 for a soda.
$40? It must have been a damn good soda.
I don't quite understand what was in it, but in any case, somebody said, yeah, that soda will cost you $40. It cost me that and a high school, college tuition or whatever it is for my kid.
I heard that you tried to get into one of the suites and they took one look at you and said, no way.
Exactly. I'm wanted in 4 states, by the way. I love you, Cor.
You too, Alan.
You're gonna tell me right now.
No. Oh, are you on One Life to Live?
Yes.
I never watched that
You'll
program.
talk to me about it. Good. Tell that. You'll tell that.
No,
You'll
I'm
tell that.
Natalie.
Hold on, wait.
We're going.
Okay, I want to talk to Natalie. Don't hide. You're very beautiful. Natalie Stiefel. Natalie Stiefel from the Long Island Wireless Historical Society.
And the Rocky Point Historical Society.
And the Rocky Point Historical
Society. And Long Island is so famous because it was the cradle of radio. Radio was brought up here right on Long Island, and Rocky Point had the largest transmitting station in the world, RCA.
Now, a question. You sound like you're well connected. Are you like on the board of directors or something?
Yes, both organizations, Long Island Wireless and Rocky Point Historical.
And where on Long Island do you reside?
Actually, Sayville and Rocky Point. I have 2 residences because Rocky Point has so much history. I'm a historian for that village, and I love doing the history, especially radio history. So we're here today to preserve this wonderful part of Long Island's history, and everybody here today is a part of that.
Well, it seems to me that you've done a fabulous job in just looking around this beautiful atrium.
I didn't do that. The whole board did that. A lot of people worked to put this together.
Is there anybody that you specifically want to thank?
Bill Moser, Dan Cox, and of course, that lovely Bernie Menard.
Well, we want to thank you for spending some time with us and allowing us to interview you, and we hope that you have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
She left me. I'm here with Victoria Crosby from WHPC. Victoria, what's your feelings about what you see so far at Long Island Radio and TV Day?
This is my first time here, and I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave in about 15 minutes because I'm going to a wedding. But I hope to be here again next year, and I had invited some friends to come to participate in it and also to come and visit and see what we're doing here.
And what can you tell me about WHPC?
WHPC is the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City. And I do a show called Oasis, which is for relaxation and inspiration. It's a little bit of new age music, some light classics, some smooth jazz, and I read some of my poetry. I'm the official poet, the poet laureate, if you will, of the Daughters of the British Empire and of the city of Glen Cove. And I have 2 poetry books here. One is Brit-centric, that's my British poetry, and the other one is Civic Poet.
Do you see any similarities between American radio and British radio in terms of the technology that's come of age?
Well, growing up in England, I was talking to somebody about the radio shows that I listened to, very similar to the radio shows in the 50s and 60s here in the United States, but of course different performers.
Well, we want to thank you for spending time with us and hope that you really, really enjoyed this day.
I did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.